Today I'm going to be changing out the radiator in my 2002 Toyota Celica Generation 7. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is drain the radiator fluid out, and to do that there is a little white knob way down here. You're going to have to take out that white knob and then make sure you take off this one as well. The one down there looks exactly like this one, and so it's going to look just like that. And then make sure you have the radiator cap off, and then after you get done doing that, you're going to need to take off the front end. So this bolt, take off this bolt, push this thing back. You'll need to take out this bolt to get the overflow off, take out this bolt and this bolt to take the latch mechanism off, and then you'll have to take the air filter off, and this bolt, so this whole bar will be accessible. I forgot to mention that there are 2 bolts for that bracket right there on the back of this, so you have to take those off as well. And these are all going to be 10mm bolts. So once you get all this stuff off, you get the front end off, and you get the fluid drained at the bottom, take your air filter and your latch and your overflow, then you have this exposed. You'll need to take out this bolt, this bolt, this bolt. There should be, I've already taken out this bolt, and take these 2 bolts out so you can take this whole assembly off. So once you get the bracket off, you can see that the radiator is out, and this is the piece we need to get out. So first thing, you need to disconnect the large black hose down here, and then you'll have to take off 2 wire harnesses, which one is located here, the other is located on the back of this fan. And then you'll have to take off this large hose down here, and there should be a hose here. Mine doesn't have one because the nipple broke off, but there's going to be a hose on yours, and you disconnect that. That's running to the overflow. Here's the radiator and the fan assembly pulled out of the car. And to get this fan assembly off, all you do is take off the 2 bolts right here, and then pull it forward and up and out of the brackets. My fan assembly is pretty old. While you're doing this, it's usually beneficial to change it, just because if these fans go bad, they could mangle your radiator and you'd have to do this all over again. But I don't have the money right now to do that, so I'm going to hook to the battery and test these fans real quick, make sure they're good. And if they're good, then I will just put this one back on the new radiator. So the first test I'm going to do is just make sure that the fans don't have any play in them. The motor doesn't either. And that one doesn't. This one doesn't appear to either. So now I'm going to go ahead and hook these up. I don't see it wobbling or anything, so I think that one's good. Now to test this one. That one seems pretty good too, so I'll just go ahead and use this fan assembly again. Once you put your fan back on, make sure to get the rubber stoppers off of the old radiator and put them on all 4 of the corners. Once you get those all together, then you're ready to put the radiator back in the car. The new radiator is a little bit different from the old one. The new one has this stem right here and has this threaded hole. Not exactly sure what they're for, but maybe they're a universal fit for a Corolla or something else. On the Celica, we're not going to need those, so I'm going to cap this hole, which this one is threaded, so a 3/8 cap will fit just fine. And then I'll put some Loctite on there to make sure it stays on. And then the stem isn't threaded, but it has that exterior thing for putting a hose on there. So if you get a threaded cap, which was the only one I could find, and I believe this is a 1/4" cap, the threaded one does stick on pretty well. So I am going to use some regular JB Weld for the threads inside, and then I've got a JB Weld steel stick, which I will be putting on the outside of the cap to keep it on. So the caps are on now, and this one has the steel stick on the outside. It is still drying, but I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. I'll just be very careful not to hit anything. And I missed this on the way out. You see that port right there? That goes to this tube right here, which leads down from the computer. Make sure to get that tube in that port when you put the radiator back in. Now that the radiator's back in, make sure that you reconnect the hoses and they're nice and tight, all three of them, and make sure you have the connectors connected back up to the fan, and then just put everything backwards just like we took it out. Once everything is put back together, all you gotta do is refill the radiator, and I have to wait 24 hours because the JB weld is still drying. So I'm going to link to a blog post on how to properly refill the radiator. Thanks for watching the video, and hit the thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you.